Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Zach Young, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Giselle Moratin, founder of Guider's Way Career Coaching, a career transition and strategy practice that helps mid-career professionals navigate pivots with clarity, confidence, and purpose. After more than 20 years working across education, corporate, and mission-driven spaces, Giselle supports individuals who feel stuck, misaligned, or undervalued in their careers by helping them reconnect with their strengths, craft compelling career stories, and build strategic job search approaches that work in today's market, which is a tricky one. Giselle, a very, very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great conversation. We have a lot to dive into. Before we do, I do like to start with your background though. So I know I touched on it briefly, but just walk us through before career coaching, what were you doing and what was really your inspiration for diving into this space?
Yeah, absolutely. I have to take you back a little further. I went to school for hotel administration. I went to Cornell, one of the best hotel schools in town, and I graduated and moved to Orlando to open up one of the first hotels that Universal Orlando, the first, and then second and third hotels that Universal Orlando opened here, and loved it, had a great time. But simultaneously, a couple of years later, I started volunteering for a nonprofit that helped people that were underemployed and unemployed. And I honestly fell in love with doing that. So when fast forward a few years, my boss went to promote me from small group convention sales to larger group convention sales. I was like, I actually think I want to move towards something that's a little more like HR or coaching or doing something that's more aligned with what I was doing as a volunteer. And so I became a career advisor in 2004, and I did that for many years. Worked with mostly mid-career, even though it was at a university, it was people that were going back to, at the time it was DeVry University, to get another degree or a degree in a different kind of direction than when they were currently doing. And so I worked with a lot of mid-career professionals and helped them through that journey. I ended up getting my master's and taught a class there that was pretty much everyone that graduated and tried to figure out how they could find a job. It was 8 weeks of like everything you can imagine: how to build a resume, how to interview, how to build a portfolio, all the things, how to make yourself like the right candidate for the role. And then fast forward, I also taught a similar class at Valencia, which is one of the largest colleges here. And then within the last about 3 years, my children, who I was homeschooling half time and they were going to school, they were at a university model through middle school. They both went to school full time. And I was like, okay, I have a little bit more bandwidth. My husband, who's like the more entrepreneurial one in the family, was like, you should start your own coaching business. You are so amazing at this. You've been doing it for so long, kind of individually and through the schools. And so that's how it all started. I started my business doing something that I've been passionate about for over 20 years.
There's no better way of getting into it. That is for sure. I mean, you've been doing this for so long, so many different people, so many different times as well, career, times in the economy, things like that. So, I mean, you've seen it all, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, I think this is going to be tremendous. A lot to dive into. The business, I'm sure, has seen a few different iterations throughout the years, especially the last 3 years. You mentioned,
Mhm.
you've been full time on it, but let's walk through the business today. Could you guide us through what does working with Giselle look like today? How do you structure your work with your clients? Everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, the way I meet my clients is through LinkedIn. That's where most job seekers hang out. And so it's a great place to find them. And so I usually have people that are following me that I introduce myself to through the messaging system. And so I reach out to them and ask them, hey, would you like me to give you some tips on how to make your LinkedIn profile a little bit more attractive, since you're probably looking for a job if you're following a career coach? And so then after a few conversations of how's the job search going, what are some of the challenges you've been seeing, we land on maybe we should have a discovery call to see if it would be helpful for you to work with me. And then once we decide that working together makes a lot of sense, Then I work through what I call like the five pillars, everything from clarity, discovering really what their strengths are, what they are, how they're wired, what their transferable skills are, to their resume, their LinkedIn, how they can brand and market themselves, to networking, which I always say is the backbone of my program and what they really need to be doing, especially in this job market today. Then we talk about interviewing and how being really prepared. We'll practice mock interviews where they are, I'm like, I'm going to try to get you the hardest questions so that when you get to the real interview, it seems a lot easier. And then salary negotiation. And then what it looks like for the first 90 days. How can you be successful in these first 90 days so that you're growing with the organization, so that you're networking forever and you honestly don't ever need a coach again, because I want to coach them through how do you learn to do this job search in a way that you don't ever have to need a coach again, that you're networking yourself through your career and growing so that you're always just a phone call away of maybe somebody helping you, get the next introduction into your next career.
I love that that is the desired outcome when you're done working together, that they will never need a coach for this as well. I mean, that just I think barely touches the value that you deliver. And I
Mhm.
think I've had a lot of career coaches on the show. None of them have ever talked about the support after they get the job. Hey, how do
Yeah.
we keep this job and make sure it goes well? And so you're not back to square zero in 30 days. I
Yes.
absolutely love
Yes.
you that you've incorporated that.
Yeah,
Very, very
absolutely.
good. So,
Yeah,
I
we
mean, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say it's so important. So that like things like not only the continual networking, but like finding a mentor, making sure you're always asking for questions so that there's never surprise at your 90-day review or the annual review, that there's no question of like, oh, I didn't know that was an expectation. Like if you're constantly asking for feedback, then, but those are little tricks that if you're not used to doing that, it could be a surprise. So
Most
setting them up for
definitely.
success. Yeah.
Most definitely. So you're on LinkedIn heavily. A lot of sense, right? LinkedIn is the place for recruiters, jobs, things like that. So you mentioned, hey, people are following you. You'll send them a message. Are you doing any cold outreach at all? Maybe for people that aren't following you, maybe they have the, open to work thing on their profile.
Yes, absolutely. So I try to find job seekers. They may be commenting on other boards that, maybe whether it's posts that are about job searching today, it could be, and obviously the open to work banner is super helpful. But I would say about half of the individuals don't use it, which I understand if they're currently employed and they don't want their employer to know that they're searching. Um, but if they're commenting and you can tell they're active with posts that have to do with the job market today and things like that, then it's easy to. And I always start with tell me if you want some feedback on your LinkedIn. And honestly, even if someone is employed and they're considering, I may, consider a shift in the next year or so, they're going to be open to that. And that's how we can start the conversation. But yes, absolutely. Cold is part of it as well.
Yeah, it's a must for a business, for most businesses. I find myself when I'm on LinkedIn, I'm typically looking for a job, right? When I'm good with my job and I'm not looking for a new one, I don't go on LinkedIn,
Right.
right? So, I
Right.
mean, that adds up a lot.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, the main power horse there. Are you on any other social media at all or just LinkedIn?
So I have started to use some of the videos that I've done in the podcast and post a little bit on Facebook and Instagram. So those are the other two, but I'm definitely not as active. And those I feel like for 2026, I want to definitely have a little bit more presence there as well. But for now, the focus has been LinkedIn.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, and like I said, it makes sense. LinkedIn, jobs, things like that. But for a lot of people, they're on LinkedIn, but they're also on Facebook and Instagram. And I
Yes.
think just like I mentioned, like personally, and I think for most people as well, we spend more time on Facebook and Instagram than LinkedIn. So I do think it's viable and a viable
Mhm.
option, even when, you're going after business owners or people looking for jobs. So I definitely think it's worthwhile there for sure.
Absolutely. No, thank you. I actually found Opus Clips has been a little bit of a blessing to discover because I was able to take like a podcast or training that I did and then just get a bunch of little clips that I can use on those sites. So yes, absolutely on the list of next year's priorities.
Yes, repurpose all the content you can. That is
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I
That's the name of the
actually
game.
I have found there are individuals that I would love to work with, to be honest with you, because I had a wonderful conversation with a professor. His department was eliminated, grant funding was taken away. And honestly, I had the most enjoyable 1 hour conversation coaching him, but he had never been on LinkedIn because literally never had to look for a job in 20 years. And so he's just like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And so it was so, I felt so helpful. Like I felt like everything I was able to help him with and coach him through was so helpful. And I know that individuals like that are not on LinkedIn yet, but
Hmm.
they may be, or their spouse may be on, Facebook or Instagram. And so that's why I do want to expand to those areas because I feel like there are people that are going to be able to find me that may not be on LinkedIn right now, but need the help to know, hey, LinkedIn is where you need to at least start having some form of a presence. I feel like LinkedIn, the way that I love to describe it, it's like a living portfolio that grows with your career. And so people use it almost like as a backup resume, right? Where you just have what's on your resume, but it could be so much more. I mean, you can include articles and, projects that you've done and, you can feature things. So anyway, I feel like if you do use it well and you keep up with it a little bit as you grow throughout your career, it's great because then you
Hmm.
don't have to come up with something huge, the next time that you're looking for a new job.
Definitely make that process easier. That's for sure. You've mentioned the podcast. Walk us through, getting that started, growing the podcast. How has that experience been?
So far, I haven't started one yet. I've just been a guest in a few podcasts, and I've been able to use those to create, like I said, the clips that I've
Mhm.
shared on other social medias. But that's definitely a future goal is to have a podcast as well that I could share just a lot of the tips that I've been, sharing with my clients and prospects and just the job
Yeah.
seekers in general that I share so much information on LinkedIn every day.
People need it. It's tough
Yeah.
out there. People
In
need
this
it.
job market, absolutely. I tell you, I have so many conversations that just break my heart of how
Mm.
hard people are trying and how difficult it is because there's so much competition right now.
Well, good thing they have you. They were able to find you, talk to you. I mean, let's get you in front of more people, right? People need you. That's for sure.
Thank
That
you.
is for sure. So the business has been full time for about 3 years now, correct?
Yeah.
3 years now. Got it. And do you have anyone working with you? Any contractors? Anyone helping you out, or are you a one woman show?
So I have a VA and
Mm.
she helps me with lead, engagement when I post every single day with social media and then with lead generation. So she helps me through some of the basic conversations back and forth to get them ready to have a conversation and a discovery call with me.
Yeah, very nice. And what point or when did you bring her into the business? When did you know, hey, I need some help here?
Yeah, yeah. It was about 5 months ago when I actually what was really special. I felt like this was a gift. I went away for 2 weeks on vacation and I didn't want to stop, what was going on because I knew that the LinkedIn algorithm doesn't like it if you stop, engaging and doing all the, communications that you normally do every day. And so I was able to find someone to fill that 2 week gap for me. And I felt like, okay, if I can find someone to do this, long term. And so it was just absolutely wonderful to be able to find someone that is able to take that off my plate because I truly love coaching and I don't want to spend hours of my day doing something that's not the best use of my time. And so being able to coach is going to be the best part.
Yeah, that's a big realization for a lot of business owners to come to, right? And a lot of people have a big trouble letting go,
Yeah,
but I think you just said it perfectly. You know that you love coaching and that's what you do best. If you can find someone who does a good job, let yourself focus on what you're truly good at for the long term, that's the best decision for the business. So big
absolutely.
kudos to you for going there. That's for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Giselle, 2026 is slowly, but I think I'd say very quickly approaching. Are there any, I know we talked about social media expanding, Instagram, Facebook. Do you have any other goals that you've set for next year you're looking to achieve?
I think just to be able to help my clients um, better. So hold them a little more accountable to the goals that they're setting to make sure that they are reaching that desired next career a little bit quicker. Sometimes I feel like because I was trying to be a little of a nice, coach, I was trying to maybe give them a little more leeway. But I feel like what people need and the best way that I can help them is to hold them a little more accountable so that they can see results faster. And so setting up some systems in place so that they're able to have, and I was able to get a client success platform that's helping me with this, where it's just going to be able to help them hold them accountable every single week. We know exactly how many network connections they're having, how many jobs they're applying to, like all the different things that we are coaching through how you can make sure to make that happen. So that's a really big one. And then reaching just financial goals that are a little bit bigger than 2025 was. So those are pretty much the two goals: being able to serve my clients so that they get jobs faster, and then increasing the profitability of the organization for
Mhm.
2026.
Great goals to have. I mean, I think that's one of the best things about investing in a coach is the accountability,
Yes.
right? Because let's be honest, we will let ourselves down very easily, right? We all
Mhm.
know all the January 1st goals, they die within about what, 2 to 3 weeks, right? But
The
for the
gyms
people,
literally like they drag machines and then they just take them back out because they know it's only the first couple weeks in January. Yeah.
absolutely. We'll let ourselves down. And so we got to go a little bit out of our comfort zone. Maybe we got to invest some money. Maybe it hurts a little bit giving up that money, right? But it makes us care more. And then we have our coach and we're saying, man, Giselle's expecting 100 requests sent out and a lot of things for me to do. And if I don't get these done by Friday, she's going to send me a message saying, Zach, why are you slacking? Come on.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's tremendous to add to the business. That is for sure. Giselle, we talked about LinkedIn. I'm sure you're there. Is it Giselle Moratin on LinkedIn?
Yes, that's it.
Perfect. What about Instagram and Facebook? What's the handle there?
So the same with Instagram, it's actually Guider's Way. Um, and so for both, those are the same. So yes,
Perfect. You're keeping it easy on us. I appreciate it. And then is the website live?
guidersway.com. Yeah, absolutely.
Writersway.com. She's making it easy. You have no reason not to connect with her and go check out the website as well. Giselle, pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Zach. This is great.
Absolutely. And that will wrap up our episode of the Founders Feature. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go and connect with Giselle on all of her social media and website. All of those links will be in the show notes and description down below. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're looking to scale your business, and you really want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.